Hello, I hope you are well. It's been a long time since I've been able to talk about what's been happening around me, spiritually wise, and the entities and people that have been around me. It's been quite revealing. Things have come to a head and I have to go in a certain direction now. So I'm going to be writing about my experiences. I'm going to be talking on YouTube about them, and apparently I'm going to be doing podcasts as well, so you can find out exactly what's going on, because the guides, angels, people around me want you to know now, and they want you to know who I am, because it serves as an inspiration for you. And that has been very difficult for me to actually come to terms with, because I have been a person that, like a lot of you out there will have been, and I know that there are a lot of people like this, especially with spiritual gifts, who don't believe in themselves, who don't accept who they really are because they don't think they're good enough, or they have these abilities, it's all in their imagination and nobody's interested. But I'm here to inspire you to throw that mantle off and to actually believe in who you are and move forward, because a lot of you are stuck, and I've been very stuck. As you will know, I have been on, off, on, off. I always want to say it like Stevie and Miranda does. With YouTube, with writing about spiritual experiences, everything, because I find them overwhelming at times to talk about. I've had to go through a very, I was going to say very dark night of the soul, but no, I've gone through a series of mini dark nights of the soul, which started when I started again, I'll say, when I had to move earlier this year to here, which I am very happy here. But my life changed massively. I actually, changed and left to come and live in another town, somewhere I never knew existed, quite frankly, I'll be honest. And I love it. I love Royal Leamington Spa, so there you go. But, I've had to embrace it. And if you don't embrace your calling, you will be dragged. And I have definitely been dragged. And they've been able to drag me so far into it, and then I've pushed back and then out forward again. And it's all to do with lack of confidence and fear that I won't be believed, fear I'll be ridiculed, fear. Okay, so I've got no choice now, because it's just so strong. And it came to a head last night. Some of you will be new to this channel, so before I delve into everything that's been happening, I want to explain exactly what I've been saying since I was a child for years, and I will try to make it short for all of you who already know this. Basically, I have been seeing lights, strange energy patterns at night since I was a child, feeling people touch me, whatever, at night. And it got stronger, especially when I was around, I'm not sure. I started to find out about it more because I started to see lots of sparkles of light. And yes, I did have my eyes checked and there was nothing wrong with them. But lots of different sparkles of light. And I started to write books. And as I wrote the books, I started to have some very strange experiences where I was actually seeing my guide, and apparently twin flame, who came to me, and literally when I say came to me, actually appeared as a full-on apparition and as my character, and kept appearing to me and kept showing me a wedding ring, which serves two purposes I've since discovered. To tell me I am his twin flame, and to show that I have a commitment for something I'm supposed to be doing in this life. So anyway, after that, I did some Reiki healing. I delved into everything and about angels, all sorts. And I discovered a few things about myself that I could really see spirit. I call them spirit, but really I like to call them interdimensional beings, or some of you would know them as shadow people. And they really are shadow people. I believe they're aliens, but they're also angels, and this is what they've told me, and that they come from the 10th dimension. And apparently I come from the 10th dimension. So the chances are you've come from the 10th dimension or some star system and you're a star seed, whatever, and that's why you're watching this channel. Okay, so I was very afraid at first. There's a lot of them. There's an army here. They keep referring to me as somebody very, very important. And for somebody who believes, you know, they're basically an amoeba on this planet and a nobody, that's kind of hard to accept. But they take it very, very seriously, to the point that they surround me with protection. And they come to me as I affectionately call them the men in black. Basically, they dress all in black like I do, because I love black. I'm beginning to wonder if that's part of it. But they come dressed in suits and black suits. They look like men in black. They wear sunglasses, but that's to show me on my level that they are protection. There are angels around me. There are men in brown robes. There are men in white robes. There are now more women around me, which is absolutely fantastic, because I really wasn't seeing any women before, and that really used to annoy me. But the point of it is, I'm not just seeing them in my third eye. I physically see them. They are standing right next to me now. And I warn you, I could spurt words out or do, you know, speak strangely or do anything, because they will impart information sometimes through me. So be warned. But they are very, very protective. They're also very forceful, and they operate like a military machine. That's the only way I can describe it. They are soldiers, okay? And I find it very difficult to say this, but they think I'm their queen, which I may be in another star system, but here I'm nothing. I'm nobody, okay? So that's what they tell me. I have not accepted that yet. I'm not sure I'll ever be able to, but that's how I am. According to them, they've actually bowed at me, so it's just kind of very scary and funny all at the same time. Anyway, so, but they want me to tell you who I am, because they want you to think about who you are and what your mission is here. You could be queen, king, prince, princess. You could be somebody very important, a political leader, anything from your star system or wherever you are, you know, wherever you've come from. So, you know, ask your guides to show you who you are. And that's going to help you, because I know a lot of you can feel it. Are very similar to me, low self-esteem. I used to think they were just telling me things like that to boost up my self-esteem, but oh no. So, you never know who you are. But here, job to do. I'm just a woman in a basement flat, a very nice one, luxurious one, but hidden away. But I can tell you now, I don't know how many of them there are, but they're outside. They're on the roof of this building. It's a historic building. It was built in 1837. I can see one of the people who used to live here right now. I can see all the spirits, all sorts. It's not as bad as the previous flat I was in, which was a hospice. It was built, well, no, it was an old house, but it wasn't as old as this, I don't believe. And yeah, this is 1837. So and I feel very warm, happy. People here, spirit-wise, are lovely. And I actually brought two spirits with me from St. Francis. One of the, I'm going to call them shadow men, because that's what they want to be known as now. They asked me if two of them could come with us. There were two women who used to come and sit and watch TV with me regularly when I was there. So yes, they're at the back somewhere. I think they have a party all the time. It sounds daft, but I don't know what these people do when I'm not around. So I know one thing, a lot of them, and they're sitting here now, there's one in the seat here now, and they're on the sofa, they like to watch television. Fascinated by the television. But anyway, there you go. So if you've watched my videos on YouTube, you will see that I've had lots of different experiences with them and seeing things, and I have seen some very strange things, I have to say. So I think they kicked off things for me again, trying to push this forward, because I keep running back to writing fiction books, which was what I wanted to do. And it gets so far, and then it just stops and doesn't work anymore. And then they push. They keep taking me around and around and around until I get it. And that's what they'll do with you. So if there's something that keeps repeating like that, just have the courage to break it. Get on YouTube, do your videos, whatever you are meant to do. If you're meant to speak out, do it. Okay? So this is what I'm meant to do, and it's taken me all morning to get on here and do it again. So where to start? Well, I've had a lot of channelings, and some of them are quite disturbing, I have to say. I've had a lot of people visit me. I had a lot of people who I would call top military brass have been visiting me for a long time, and I suddenly discovered that one of them, oh my goodness, was Eisenhower. So who's been imparting information to me. McNamara, these are military top brass in America. I've been seeing them in the distance in uniform, in my third eye in particular, for ages, but I've seen them wandering around my room as well at night, because I have a lot of shadow men who stand around me at night, and they're guarding, and they're also trying to impart information. I often get woken up at night, and I have a lot of revelations through the night, and but I've seen these people. I've seen a lot of men in white robes, men in brown robes who are healers. I have a full entourage of doctors around me. I've just been discovering more about that as well. And I apologise if I'm repeating some information that you already know, but I'm, you know, I want this to be a podcast as well, because I want as many people to know, you know, what's going on as possible, because it's time. And every time they say it's time to me, they're tapping their watch or they're showing me Big Ben. And they've had me listening to Carol of the Bells non-stop, and it's all to do with bells, and I hear sirens all the time. So get going, get going, get going. So if you're hearing sirens all the time, you're hearing bells, you're seeing watches, especially 12 o'clock, yeah, like high noon or midnight, dong, Big Ben, whatever, then you're meant to get going with your mission, okay? So, but a lot of things are quite disturbing. When I first came here, they kept showing me a large aircraft that was plunging into the ocean, which is kind of very scary. And a lot of these aircraft, aircraft had different, obviously, markings on them. There was a British Airways one, there was different airlines all across the world, and I took that to represent that things were happening in those countries. And at the time, we had all the trouble with Boris Johnson, and we had the trouble with the woman who didn't last as long as a lettuce, letting us women down there. Thanks for that, Liz. And then more change. I was shown Big Ben going when, and I knew Boris Johnson was going to go. All sorts of things going on. So I took that to mean that it was referencing that. This plane seemed to be huge, like out of proportion. And then what was really scary, and actually had me screaming at one point, was this plane is massive. It's like a Boeing 747, only seemed to be larger, oversized. And it would come in a ghostly apparition right through this building at me and through me. Oh, it was absolutely terrifying. Seen the San Francisco Bridge wobble, and recently I'm seeing it break up, and I don't know if that's a premonition. I'm too frightened to even think about it. But these things are going on around the world. They keep showing me a book, and that they're opening and reading, and on this book it's red and it's called Revelations. So you know, if you get any things about this, please comment, let me know what you think, or what you've had. I know that people have had these things, so I've found out since, but I've seen battleships. This is what they kept showing me, an admiral. I didn't know who this guy was. I worked out it's Eisenhower. Now, I know he wasn't an admiral. I know he was in the army. But I believe I've worked this bit out because they may be referring to the aircraft carrier, because it's always an aircraft carrier I see called the Eisenhower. So whatever it is, this ship is really important. And I see lots of missiles flying. I see a submarine, and it's a UK submarine. And it's all to do with missiles going up, nuclear weapons, the works. I see a nuclear explosion at sea, missiles, lots of missiles, war, basically. They keep referring me to World War II. They keep showing me Hitler, which is quite disturbing, I have to say. And they keep telling me that the energy, Hitler energy, is on the planet. Now, it's not just in one person, and you'd know who I'd be referring to with that, but it's not just at one person. That energy is right around the world. And I've been shown all the icebergs melting, water levels rising, war is imminent. But I also get told we will stop it. We will stop it. So that's positive. And I know this seems quite obvious, but this has been building up for ages for me. Way before Russia and Putin walked into Ukraine, I was told that that was going to happen, that they was going to start a war. So they don't like him at all. They believe there are forces on this earth that are working with these people to create havoc, to create war. Okay, and behind the scenes are all of these people who were on the earth, who were involved in World War II, involved in strategic planning for combating these wars, that are working behind the scenes to stop it. Okay, so that's why I've got military top. Okay, they're now showing me, and they showed me him roughly, but what they do sometimes is the people will appear to me, or at night I will be shown images of, it's like Pathé News, but it's not Pathé News. They're real people. They're people from all different times, all different eras, uniforms, people in uniform, all sorts of things. And they've shown me Monty, who was a general, you know, World War II, UK one. They're now showing me Storm and Norman. Where's that come from? Storm and Norman. and Colin Powell. Okay, any others you want to throw in there? No. Okay, so we're talking people who have been at war, who are working behind the scenes to stop this. Okay, so really interesting, because this is where the time thing comes in, because it's almost like, and I've been shown, all right, okay, because I was going to write this as I thought this part of this was a story at first, and it's not. It's to be sorry, I had a low battery there. It's supposed to be me telling you what's happening. It's real. That's what it was all about. Okay, reveal that to me now. Okay, I'm seeing this Admiral guy. Eisenhower. Okay, he's not an admiral. I'm well aware of that, but that's the connection with the ship, because I often see him on the ship. That's to show that it's something to do with the Eisenhower aircraft carrier. Okay, I don't know what. I just know I am taken through time, through these tunnels I go down in meditation to these places, and I am talking to these people. So, and what really freaked me out, I did mention in, I wonder if they were trying to disguise him for a while, because they asked me to do some healing ages ago, and I was terrified, because they told me, and I have talked about this on one of my videos, they told me that I would go inside the human body to heal. I needed to find out what the problem was and tell this team of spirit doctors that were around me, and they directed what I did. So I went into this. It took me back in time, which I believe was World War II, to somebody. I'm not going to say who it was, all right, but somebody very important. And they asked me to go into this person's body, because it was something to do with their heart. And I've since discovered this person had a lot of heart problems when I looked them up in history, which is really weird. And it was the oddest thing, because part of me really felt that they were there inside this little bubble traveling around. That's what I think these orbs are, right? So I'm traveling around, and I just remember seeing this like fountain of blood coming out of somewhere. So I told them what I was saying, and then I ended up giving them information about it, and then they told me what to do with it, with the energy that came out of my hands, which was really odd. So it's very difficult for me to talk about this. I've tried to hide it for so long. So that's what I had to do. And I looked it up, because I don't just accept what I'm shown, what I'm given. I test it. I'm more of a skeptic than you believe. That's why they've had so much trouble with me. So I find out that this, what I told them about, is a genuine heart condition. It's how it's dealt with, everything, and it can go unnoticed, and the people die of it because they just couldn't find out what it was. Yeah, it's almost rare. It's they just don't see it, which would explain why it would be easier to see if somebody went actually into the body to discover it. So that was kind of very strange for me. But these visions have become stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. They want me to do more healing that way. I have been resisting for ages, because it's very scary in my opinion. What else? I'm trying to think of everything there. The submarine they keep showing me drives me mad. They're obsessed with showing me this submarine. It feels like so much is going to start from this submarine in the North Sea. I don't know what the name of the submarine or anything like that is. This is just what I'm told, and this is like a revelation. It's also interesting that there's talk about the economy being reset, and the world all the money being sorted out. And now I'm seeing Eisenhower was instrumental in creating the World Bank. So there are definitely things going on behind the scenes with this world as it comes from its great awakening into its new life, is what I'm going to say. So I just needed to get all of that out. But the other thing that I'm saying is all about time travel. And it's almost like whoever this is going back in time and messing with certain key events. And that's what I'm being shown. It's like the Dark Army. My libs, as I affectionately call them, what we call shadow men now, interdimensional beings, angelic forms from the 10th dimension. That's what they call themselves. But they come in the hat. I've seen the Hat Man. I've seen everything. And they are very pushy, I have to say. Pushy people. Anyway, so they that's what's happening, and they keep showing me, and I've talked about this before, Einstein. Everything is Einstein. I can barely add 2 and 2 together. My degrees are in history. You know, I've written books. I've studied all sorts of things, English language, the works, right? I don't do maths. I don't like maths. I can understand, you know, all about dark matter and relativity, everything like that. If I come at it through philosophy, I understand philosophy. Well, it takes a lot of doing, but I do understand it, and I can grasp very difficult mathematical subjects through philosophy. But if you come at me, you know, maths, I've been trying to learn Korean, and I've been having so much trouble with it because, as my son said to me, that's because the language looks like it's written like fractions. And I found Mandarin Chinese easier. I find that easy because I find the symbols very creative, whereas I have difficulty. And I so want to learn Korean. So if you've got any tips, by the way, let me know. But so it's very hard when you're saying a genius come to you all the time and write things on a wall, difficult equations, drawing triangles, pyramids. Everything I say is pyramids, 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 which I presume means focus. Pyramids in other worlds. They keep showing me one in the front room here. Everywhere. I'm in a pyramid. I heal with symbols of pyramids, triangles. Again, geometry. That's how I heal. I've even been asked to do a set of cards, healing cards. I want to call them tarot, but they're not tarot. And I have done healing with these symbols before, and they're all ready to go. I need to get them sorted. I have been doing that. And that's how I heal. And with this energy that I possess. And it's very, very, very difficult though. You know, and then when they, I've noticed now when I channel, they'll give me information and they'll say, war is imminent. So this booming voice comes over, war is imminent, this is it, this is happening, this is happening. This needs to be stopped or whatever, okay, what I need to do. Then they'll start rattling out what I thought were angel numbers, but they are coordinates. And they will talk to me in military style. It's like 999, 222, 666, 444. And it's not just numbers like that, can be random numbers. I'm just saying them because they're like angel numbers. That's what they remind me of. But the way they say them, and they're telling me they're coordinates for something. Then they take me down the images. I see these images in my mind. I also see them floating on the air. I can open my eyes and I can see them. I can close my eyes and see everything in the room and where they are, where they're standing, what they're showing me. I've seen spacecraft. Last night, I thought I was going to lose my mind. I was up till 4 in the morning. They were, my son, he's a student, he came in at 3, so I was sort of, I suppose, waiting to hear the door go. But the whole time they were showing me images of people. I see lots of people. It's almost like they're giving me messages, and these interlopers come in spirit who want to connect with me. I can be lying in my bed. I can have my eyes closed. I can have my eyes open, and I know somebody's come down here and they're sitting in the chair. And the minute I see that, then they're... Because apparently I can see them quicker than they do. And they are thrown out. They are literally thrown out. There's no time. Out you go. So, whatever it is they've got me doing, it's very focused. So, I'm not sure what I have to do with this information yet, but I have to write it all down. It's going to go into books. It's going to, and this is all I'm going to do now. I'm going to be healing through cards, through speaking. It has to be about speaking, and nerve-wracking. But these beings are here to help us. You see, they're speaking through me now. They're not here to hurt us. They're not here to be the scary shadow people. They are here to help. They are angels. They are here for us and nothing else. We are protectors. I'm a protector. They are protecting a protector. So this is where you have to think about your role. Okay, but the information is coming thick and fast, so no doubt I will be on giving more, but some things are brewing. That's what I want to say to you, in the world as a whole. I do get March 2023. When I got that, interestingly enough, I was reading an article on the BBC News website about American lady, I can't remember her name, Intelligence, I think, and she was saying that the war in Ukraine might lull until the spring, and then there'd be a concerted effort. So whatever it is, it's linked to that, but they're showing me Hitler again. This energy is there for the taking, and that's what they're afraid of. It's come in, it's been allowed in through a back door, and that's what's changing up all the world. So, and it is part of our evolution as well, but it's maybe that, I think that's what's allowed it, as we've been evolving. Dark energies have been able, that weren't supposed to be there, have been slipping in, and it's heightening everything. We've got a lot of trials to go through yet. Okay, so I will be writing this down. Hopefully this will be my first podcast as well, and watch this space for more information on more revelations. That's what they want to call them. They're telling me end the video now. That's very funny. They do some very strange things, and they do some very scary things. I've seen things crawling around here that shouldn't be. Very odd things. And they told me one night, can I finish with that? Something very strange had come in here. I'm not going to describe it too much, but it's like almost like an entity, creature, which can be a thought form. And it came through the window at me, and it was huge. And I have seen one before. And the only way I can describe it to you is it looked like an animal, and like it was an X-ray. Very odd. So my doctor's appeared next to me. I'll call him Dr. Barnes. They regulate everything I do, what I'm eating, what I'm drinking, how I sleep, if I'm warm enough. They treat me like a baby. I've told you this before. I know I don't do everything they say until they pressurize me. No, they mean well. I'm trying to convince myself of that when they boss me around, but they do mean well. And yes, I had to tell you that for some reason. But this thing that came in, it's like a dinosaur thing, but it's as if you were looking at an X-ray of it, and it come in, and then they told me that was sent to you. Somebody sent that to me. So they're well aware of who might be watching this, who is sending me strange things to scare me or to put me off my track, but it's not going to happen. So I hope that's been helpful. Don't worry about what I'm saying. Work on your own mission, because these people are helping and they're stopping these things. I'm trying to show you that they are working behind the scenes. But as a world, as a people, we have to put some effort in and to stop playing with nuclear weapons like toys. I don't know where that came from. And to stop playing God. Okay? It's never going to work. So there's my message. So watch this space for more, and I will be putting some books out there. Please like, share, subscribe, and get this message out to as many people. I can't do any healings for the moment because this information that's coming through me all of the time is draining me a bit. I feel like if you watch What We Do in the Shadows, I feel like Colin Robinson's been taking a munch out of my energy. So it will happen because they want me to be a healer. They keep calling me, and I'm not a doctor, but in their eyes, from where I come from, that's how they see me. But obviously, I'm not a qualified doctor. I do not wish to be one. Yeah, okay, I'm a healer. So, and I have to accept that. I have to accept my power, and that's what I want you to do. If you're watching this, you're having trouble accepting your power. Accept your power and who you are. And this time, I can't go anywhere. I'm here to stay, and I love talking to you. But I have been afraid, I have to say, because these visions are very, very strong. And they're not just visions. I am actually in these places. I am traveling to these places. So I don't know how, but I am through meditation. There is a part of me that leaves my body and goes, and it goes back in time. It goes through dimensions. They take me down tunnels. They take me. I see this world as a simulation. It's. I think the theory about it being one giant school, a simulation, in some shape or form, which is why I think we're always alone, or we perceive ourselves to be alone because we are sheltered, or we're just a new race. I don't know, but there's definitely a simulation aspect to this. They've really shown me that. I'll talk about that next time. But I think there are people coming in to see what's going on. This is why we're getting all the UFO. And I think there are people here who are part of the STAR team who are trying to protect the earth and warn people about these imminent dangers. Okay? But don't be frightened, because they're on it. And we are going to be on it. So let me know what you think. Please like, share and subscribe. Oh, I've already said that, I think. So apologies. But please do. And we can get this message out to other people. And I shall see you next time. Okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye.